Hi and welcome to Flowing with Goodness. I'm Kate and today we have a yoga workout. So if you're ready to get moving, tone up the abs, tone up the legs, then this is a really good sequence for you. So whenever you're ready, jump onto your mats and we'll get started. Alright, so jumping onto your mats, we're going to start into Child's Pose. So coming onto your knees, take your knees out as wide as your mat and then sink your heels back onto your hips, sending the hands as wide and far away from you as you can. So just take the forehead down to the mat and take a nice big stretch down the back. And take 3 big deep breaths here. So inhaling, filling up the lungs as much as you can. And then exhaling, pushing all of the air out. Just start by warming up the body from the inside out. So take one more big deep breath in, get the lungs working. And then we're going to lift up, come up onto your hands and step back into plank so you can stay onto your toes. If that's a little bit too much for you, you can also come down onto your elbows as well. And the third option is to stay on your knees. So straight into plank this morning or this afternoon, whatever it is for you. So press your glutes together, press your hips down a little bit while pulling up the tummy. So pull the belly button up to the spine. Just take a big deep breath here. Just feel the strength in the body. You might just want to come forward and back on your toes a couple of times. And just start to stretch down the calves. Make sure you're pushing the floor away from you with your hands so that you're really strong in the shoulders and not sinking down. So you want to act as if you're pushing the floor away from you and staying really active in your hands, all of your fingers pressing into the mat. All right, good. So bring your knees down to the mat. Stretch yourself back into Child's Pose. Take 2 big deep breaths here. So really stretching from your fingertips all the way down the back. And just allowing that lower back to get a really good stretch. And then come up onto your hands again. Step back into plank. And then all the way up with your hips to the ceiling for down dog. So in your down dog, press all of your fingertips, all 5 fingertips into the mat. Press your chest through your armpits. So you're straightening up through the elbows and pushing your chest through your arms so that they're going towards your knees. So you can bend your knees a whole lot and you can really feel that stretch down your back, all the way along the arms, down the back, and all the way down the back of the legs. So it's a whole body stretch for the back of the body. All right, so just pedal out the legs left and right. And really get a good stretch. Wake up the back of the legs. And then press them both down, press both heels down towards the mat. And we're going to come into 3-legged dog. So take your right leg up towards the ceiling and keep your arms and your shoulders really square. So you're not twisting through the body, but you're just sending that right leg up, really squeezing through the right hip. Okay, so come forward into your plank position while taking that right knee towards your forehead. And then exhale, push the leg back up, 3-legged dog. So exhale, bring the knee to your forehead, and then inhale, stretch it back up. So exhale, bring the knee to your forehead, and then inhale, stretch it back up. One more, exhale, bring the knee to forehead, and inhale, stretch it back up. Good, drop that right leg back down to the mat, and we'll do that on the other side. So left leg goes up, pull the tummy in, press both hands into the mat so you're really square through the shoulders. And then exhale, bring the knee to your forehead, so like a bit of a crunch in the tummy. So inhale, stretch back into 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee to forehead. Good, inhale, stretch long. And exhale, bring the knee to forehead. One more, inhale, stretch it back. And then exhale, knee to forehead. Good, so drop the knee. So come into tabletop and then sink your hips back down onto your heels. Stretch your arms long again. A nice big stretch through the shoulders, all the way down the back. One more big deep breath here. And exhale. So inhale, coming up onto your hands. Let's step back into down dog. So all the way up to the sky with your hips. And then we're going to take our right leg all the way up, three-legged dog. Pull the tummy in, really stretch that leg high while you're pushing your chest through your shoulders again. So you're trying to stay really even with your shoulders, but keep lifting that right leg up. And then we'll take that right leg through to the outside of that right hand. So we're in a high lizard. So if that leg didn't come all the way up to your hand, just help it up a little bit. Make sure that that right foot is underneath your knee, that it's not behind the knee, that you're not putting too much pressure on that joint. So take a deep breath here, and we're coming into a high lizard. So you're going to keep that left knee up off the floor and you're staying on the left toe. And then your right hand's going onto the inside of that right knee, keeping the right elbow tucked in towards your ribs. So then pull your tummy in and drop the left hip down. So you should feel a really big stretch down that left hip. And then look over your right shoulder. So twisted lizard. Take a big deep breath in here. If it's a little bit too much, drop the left knee down to the floor. Otherwise, stay there. It's a really good hip flexor stretch. If your lower back's been really tight, this one will really help to balance out the tension. So one more big deep breath here. And then come back down, hands down onto the mat. And we'll step back into down dog. So pedal out your legs. So pedal the legs out left and right, stretch down the back of the legs. And we'll do that on the other side. So keep your right leg down and then lift your left leg up. So squeeze through that left glute to lift the left leg up without twisting through the back. And then keep both fingers, all fingertips onto your mat, and then keep your shoulders really square. Good, one more deep breath here, lift up a little bit higher. And then onto lizard. So left leg comes to the outside of that left hand. So help it up if you need to. And then take a big deep breath in here. Pull the tummy up, strong in the shoulders, just like you're pushing the floor away from you. So all of your fingers are out really wide, so you're strengthening to your wrist joints. And then drop the right hip down a little bit, keeping the knee up off the mat, but you can drop the right hip down a little bit, pulling in the belly button, but your right hip goes down, so you can get that really big stretch in that psoas, the hip flexors. So breathe through it. And then take the left hand to the inside of the left knee. So you keep your left elbow dropped in and then twist your body so you're looking over the left shoulder. So twisted lizard, it's a big hip opener. So keep the knee down if that's going to help. Otherwise lift it up, but keep guiding the stomach and the hips down to the floor. One more deep breath here, stay strong. And then come back into the center, good. So take the left leg back into down dog. So take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, walk your feet up towards your hands. So we're coming into forward bend. Have your big toes touching, your heels slightly apart. Bend your knees fairly generously so that your back can just hang forward like a floppy doll. So allow the gravity to just pull your back down. Relax through the neck, look left and right a couple of times. Just imagine all of the stress falling out of the top of the head. Let go completely. And just keep allowing the gravity to pull you forward into a deeper stretch. So really stretching down the back of the legs, the calves, the hamstrings. So take a deep breath in and straighten through the back, flat back, look up. And then exhale, bend the knees, just like you're sitting into a chair behind you. So you're really sending the hips back far behind you, and then making sure the knees aren't going forward over the toes, but they're coming backwards. So squeeze the thighs together, and then we're coming into chair pose. So lift yourself up, hands together. So just like you're saying a little prayer for strong legs, pull in the tummy and tuck the tailbone under. Draw the shoulders back and down. It's a really good strengthening pose. So take a big deep breath in here, find something to focus on. And exhale, come back into forward bend. Just pedal the legs out left and right. Really stretch down the back of the legs. So taking a deep breath in, come back into flat back, look up. And then plant the hands and step yourself back into plank. So straighten up through the body. And again, you can come onto your knees and plant the toes for a second option. So lift up onto your toes if that's good, and choose what's right for you today. And then we're coming into side plank. So we're going to pivot onto our left foot, keeping that left hand in line with the shoulder. Taking the right hand up, and then place the right foot up onto the leg. So take a deep breath in here, find your balance. So you can look to the floor and look on your hand, or look up to the ceiling. Just keep trying to push the hips up. Try not to sink down too much, but push up, and you'll really strengthen through the obliques, so through the abs. So it's really good for toning up. So breathe here. One more, and you can take that right leg up if you want, just a little bit more. So one more, big deep breath in here. Stay strong. And then right hand comes down, come back into plank. Drop the knees, sit back into child's pose. So take a nice, refreshing, deep breath in here. And as you exhale, relax the back, relax the hips. So you've got one more deep breath in here, mini break. And then inhaling, bringing yourself back onto your hands, step back into plank. So we're going to do that on the other side. I'm just going to turn around. Okay, so side plank on the other side. So on your right side this time. Your right hand, just check that it's underneath your right shoulder. And then pivot onto the other side. So you're coming up, legs on top of legs. And if that's a little bit too hard for you today, drop onto your right knee and just make sure that your body's in line. And you can also try this onto your elbow as well if you're having any shoulder problems. So choose your options. So here we go, option 1. And then option 2 would be knee and hand. And then option 3 is side, so the feet and your hand. And then extend the arm. So choose what feels best for you. And it's really good, it's something to grow towards as well. As you find that strength is increasing, you can get a little bit higher with your planks, your side planks, and enjoy them a little bit more too. So lift the left leg up, push the hips up to the ceiling, take a big deep breath in here, rise up. And then left hand comes back down to the mat, and we can drop the knees, sink back into your child's pose. So take a nice big deep breath in here, reset. So take a deep breath in, lift yourself up onto your mat, and we're coming into boat pose. So sitting onto your mat, lifting up through the back, and then you can take your hands underneath your knees, so either holding onto your elbows or holding around the wrist. So thread your hands and your arms underneath your knees, and then come up onto your tippy toes. So take a moment here to straighten up through the back, tuck the chin in and drop the shoulders down. Really switch on the core, so pull the tummy in towards the spine, and then you can lift up one leg and then maybe two. So the idea is that you can lean back a little bit and you really feel all of those core muscles really having to switch on to hold your back straight. So if you find that you're rounding through the spine, just try to lift up and arch back a little bit more, and you really feel those abs starting to switch on. So relax the shoulders back and then looking towards your feet. So try to keep the spine really straight and hold here. So 5 deep breaths. It's just like sitting in a little boat sailing on the ocean. So one more deep breath in here. Find your inner strength. And then release one foot down and then the other. So we'll come into Cobbler Pose. So bring your soles of your feet together, and then the knees are going out to the side. So you can have your feet fairly away from you if you feel like your back's rounding in the lower back. Otherwise, bring them in a little bit closer. So just like you're reading a little book, opening out the feet. So have your elbows into the inner knees, into the thighs. And then take a deep breath in, flatten through the back, and exhale, come forward. So you might feel a big stretch here, or maybe you want to come in and the feet can come all the way to the head. So feel the best stretch for your body today. Don't push too far with this one, just enjoy the stretch. It's all about grounding, relaxing, and just taking a little bit of time to come back to the center. And then inhale, lift yourself back up. So we're going to extend both legs out in front of us. I'll turn to the side so you can see a little bit better. So coming into forward bend, so inhale, lift through the back, relax the shoulders, and then exhale, fold forward. So you can have your hands towards your legs, place them onto your knees, or all the way down to your feet, or around the soles of the feet. So wherever you can feel a better stretch, just be really gentle with your body. If it's a little bit too much, feel free to bend the knees, and you can stretch like this. And in time, the more you do it, the better they'll get at flexibility. So you can bend the knees up a little bit and still stretch like this. And just keep stretching them out. The more you do it, the more the flexibility will increase. So it's just a matter of the body adapting to what we ask it to do. So be really gentle, soften through the shoulders. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here. And then inhaling, bringing yourself up. So take your hands behind your back, so fingers point in towards your back. Retract through the shoulders, and we're coming into inclined plane. So point the toes and look towards your toes. So keep the legs nice and straight, and then push the floor away from you and lift your hips up to the ceiling. So try to get really straight through the back. And if that's just a little bit tricky, your hips just aren't coming off the floor, cross your legs, and then you can lift up this way. Retract through the shoulders. Okay, so choose whichever works best for your body, and hold here. So one more big deep breath in, allow the tummy to really rise as you take the deep breath in, and exhale, push all the air out. And then gently come back down. So we're going to come down onto our mats, shuffle forward And then use your elbows, lay yourself down gently onto your mat. So one last strengthening pose, bridge pose, and then we'll do our finishing stretches. So lay down on your mat, palms facing down on the mat, and roll the shoulders back and down a little bit. Bend the knees, have your feet flat on the floor, and have your knees in line with the hips. So they're not going out too wide, they're not knocking together, they're just staying like two train tracks on the floor. So that'll keep your knee tracking nice and straight. So take a deep breath in, lift the hips up, push up. So really push the lower back, push the middle back, get a really good arch in your back. Imagine someone's pushing you up from the floor and you're really trying to arch your back as much as you can. So creating a bridge, creating strength in the back and flexibility in the spine. So drop the chin down and then lift up. Really squeeze your glutes to get up higher. Come down if you need to. Otherwise, stay here for 3 deep breaths, really thinking about those inner thighs working, strengthening through the legs. So you can walk your arms underneath your body, interlace the fingers, and push up even higher. Just keep the chin tucked in so you're getting a good stretch down the back of the neck as well. It should feel really good. Alright, take the hands apart and roll your spine down onto the mat. And you can bring your right knee into your chest and lower the left leg down. So pull the right knee in up to your armpit. And then hold here, take 3 deep breaths. Allow the body to really melt into the floor. And then bring your left leg up, hug that one in and gently lower right leg down. So pressing that right knee down to the floor and hugging in the left knee. So again, just relax into this one. Take a couple of deep breaths in. And then when you're ready, bring the right leg up. We're coming into a twist, so bring your hands out like a T shape out beside the body, and then take your knees together and over to your right side. So you can pull the hips over a little bit, get a really good twist all the way from your tailbone up to the shoulders, up to the neck. So try to keep that left shoulder down onto the mat and then looking over to your left hand. So you get that full twist in the spine. And then look back up towards the ceiling, and then we'll do that on the other side. So take the knees gently over to your left side and looking over to your right hand. So the twists really help to detox the body. They massage our internal organs, as well as stretching out the lower back muscles, especially the QL muscle. It gets very, very tight if you're sitting down or standing for long periods of time. So twists really help to alleviate a lot of back pain. So just allow your body to soak up the goodness of this stretch. One more big deep breath in. And then bring your attention back up towards the sky or the ceiling and bring your knees together. So just allow one leg to come down and then the other, and we'll prepare for Shavasana. So bring the arms down beside the body. Allow the shoulders to really relax down. Tucking the chin down and allowing the legs to just fall however they lay. Just finding some stillness in your body. So just take at least a minute here to just really relax. Allow your energy to just flow freely, find some inner peace and stillness in this busy world. So just check in with your body. If you need to just relax anywhere that might still be hanging on. And allow all of the thoughts to just wait at the side. Wait patiently while you take this time to relax and be still. So take a really big deep breath in, bring your arms above your head and allow the elbows to come out to the sides. So take a really big energizing breath in here, wake yourself up gently. And one at a time, bring your knees up into your chest and take your hands towards your knees. So give yourself a really big hug here and then bring your knees over to the side. And push the floor away from you, come up to sitting. So take a moment here to just allow your body to wake up gently. Take your hands to your heart center and check back in with your intention. So whatever it is that you want for your higher self, so your higher good. And appreciate and be proud of your body for working so well for you, and be proud of yourself for your commitment to yourself, to your health and your vibrancy. Namaste. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.